fun. You know, a lot of times people tailgate, but sometimes just like to go and get food and you don't want to make it. So we are talking about some new dining options, and the first of its kind, Sombreros, a popular Mexican family-owned restaurant here in the Valley, moving into Sun Devil Stadium this season. Joining me is Tim Vasquez, the owner. Why did you guys decide to venture on into Sun Devil Stadium, the first local restaurant, I have to add, that's been inside?
You know, we were just excited. It was a great opportunity. I grew up going to the games with my parents as a Sun Devil, and then went to ASU, and now I have a daughter going to school there, so ASU is just kind of runs in our family. And when the opportunity came up, we're a Tempe-based business with our first location on Mill and Baseline, so it was just a perfect fit, and it kind of feels like a homecoming for us. Okay, we got to show you some of the food options. Run me through what your guys are serving to all those hungry fans out there. Sure, we're going to be doing carne asada burros, green chili burros, bean and cheese burros. We're going to be having fresh churros out there. We're going to be making them on site. We're going to have horchata, ice cold horchata to drink, and jamaica, which is like a hibiscus-based fruit punch, and we'll have chips and salsa, and pretty much everything with a little Mexican flair to it. And where can people find you tomorrow? We're in section 14, just near the north end zone. Okay, and finally, if you do buy a burro, you get a churro. What's the deal for people at home, maybe getting a little hungry, they're going to the game, and you can get some free stuff? That's right. If you come in before the game, before kickoff, if you buy a burro, you get a churro for free. So that's just our way to show a little fan love to start the season off right. Okay, guys, and you know, what's a food segment without me digging in? Thankfully, my mother is not watching. She was critiquing me yesterday with the French fries. So I have a little churro.
Oh, yummy.
Pretty good, pretty good. A
she
little
would
churro.
Approve of that very ladylike bite. Wouldn't she? I think Mommy would approve.
I'm trying to be more ladylike.
Heck with it. When it comes to food, who cares?
Right, Kylie,
nice
thank
view
you.
Behind you there, too.
Gorgeous
that
view.
Is cool up there.
Go Sun Devils. Not just Sun Devil football we want to talk about. The Cardinals, as you know, are playing.
They are playing
you ready?
The Saints at home on Sunday, 1:05 kickoff.
So whether you're going to the game or you're staying and watching it with friends, you need to be in the right gear. The NFL is previewing some new styles, and I want to show you two examples of this. Look at this. Okay, when I say new, it's very retro. Get ready. I think this reminds me of the 1950s.
I can see that.
You know.
Sleeves might be a little long for right now.
For right now. It's black in the back.
I like that.
It's cool. Very, very retro. This is a lot more modern. This is sort of an updated baseball style tee. Kind of great for Marine Week, too, if you're watching football.
That is my favorite.
That is really
Isn't that
great?
Cool.
I love the camouflage. It's nice and thin. You need to wear a tank under it, probably, ladies.
I was looking for a price. I don't see one.
I don't either. But this is new NFL gear, so you can always go to the NFL website. This is...
Women would go crazy for that one.
This is fantastic, yeah. and the weight is just right. Also, there's a chance to be part of a Guinness World Record if you wear your NFL gear before the game, so the cutoff is Saturday. Go on Instagram, take a picture of yourself, Instagram or Twitter, and you hashtag it NFL Fan Record, and you can be part of that.
Gonna be fun.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, really cool.
Yes, sir?
All right. We are going to do some off-road racing. I would normally be out there, but...
Right. He's injured.
Not going to happen this time.
So is there somebody who's tough enough to stand in for you?
I don't know. I'm sure there is.
What about Gibby?
Gibby?
He's fearless. He's going to check in with some of the racers at an off-road event and give us a look at some monster trucks up next.
And that bright sunshine is back. You were on Monday morning.
You're one of the funniest guys on TV. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And we're glad the Emmys are on Fox this year. So, all right, have fun with it. We'll be watching you.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Best to you.
Be looking forward to seeing Andy MC the Emmys a week from this weekend.
You've got a week from Sunday. Yeah.
You heard a little bit of him earlier, about 10, 15 minutes ago. Rick Monroe, right over here.
Only so much this man can take. Push to the edge, so hell, I might as well jump.
The problem is people often don't realize they've been hurt until a couple of days later.
Guaranteed. For veterans who want to refinance, that can mean a
television industry where participants in our program can network and gain internship opportunities and maybe even work in the industry.
Natalie, how do you think the portrayal of women is going to change if women are telling their own stories?
women have
debate with 11 candidates to take the main stage. Among them, frontrunner Donald Trump, whose rivals are reportedly strategizing about how to take him out. Kylee also making that primetime stage after a change in CNN's criteria. The remaining 5 candidates who didn't poll high enough will get their shot in the undercard debate earlier in the evening. All right, so Julie, as a Democrat, who are you watching the closest?
Donald Trump, because he's so amusing. It's not a partisan analysis, that's just an entertainment analysis. You know, I'm really impressed with Kylee Fiorina. I have to give her credit. I thought she handled everything that they throw her way, she handles well. Even the Trump comments about her looks, which he's now denying were about her looks, she handled it like a mature adult and didn't, you know, I love her. I mean, I don't agree with her much, but I think she's handling herself so well, and I'm very happy that CNN is allowing her to be on the big kid stage.
You love her.
I think she's
a Democrat on the couch just said she loves Kylee Fiorina.
Well, again, much like what Andrew said about Joe Biden, I may not agree with her on much or maybe anything, but you know, she's almost the adult in the room. I like.
Well, you know what she did?
She's great.
She went from one stage, the early debate stage here on Fox, to the big stage. In fact, we all predicted that that would happen.
Right.
And it almost happened that night because people were having to react to some of the things that she said previously.
Yeah, and Sandra, I mean, she really is going to be the factor that I think shakes things up because she wasn't with the boys on the other stage last time around, and she clearly overperformed and I think it just exceeded expectations.
Yeah, and I remember noting how many of the initial comments in the first debate included the economy, and I was so proud that it was mentioned so many times and brought up so many times. I think Kylee Fiorina and Donald Trump, by the way, have a real opportunity to shine there. Marco Rubio, I think, you know, he's always going to be in the spotlight as a very solid debater. He's always going to set that tone. So I look forward to seeing and hearing from him. But all around, I think this is just going to be another spectacular debate, and I look forward to hearing from all of them.
Yeah, I mean, Rob, there are some candidates, too, who I think can't really afford to have another terrible debate performance. There are others which we might need to send you to go find them in a mission because sometimes they barely get a question. But who are you going to be watching outside of, say, a Fiorina and a Trump? Anybody catch your eye?
You know, I like Governor Kasich. I like the way he leads. I like the way what he's done. I always like to hear what Ben Carson says. I'm interested. I just talked to Governor Christie today on the set here. He's a straight talker too, like, which is pretty much what the country is looking for right now. Like that's.
Joining me here, Tim. Lucas Oil brings a lot, and this is off-road racing. What are we going to get to see out here?
Plenty of trucks, buggies, UTVs, trophy cart kids. We got special Volkswagen stock Beetles racing this weekend to desert trophy trucks. Like Kendra said, we're doing a lot of fundraising for the Fall Firefighters Association. Adult tickets are only $11. Kids are $9. Under 5 is free. Military, any service members or firefighters, police are in free with ID as well.
And that's the key. You got to bring your ID. Make sure you bring your ID, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As he mentioned, the gates opening at 3 o'clock with 6.
That Lee wrote this song to be for the first dance song at his wedding reception.
Really?
I didn't know that.
That's interesting.
But it is a good song for that.
Well, you know, we all know that we love country music so much because it's so close to our hearts, because it's real. This is Rick Monroe. Rick is actually you're emceeing the whole show, right?
I'm acoustic opening and emceeing, so I'll be there through the whole night. So,
wow, you have a lot of pressure to do all that.
yeah, well, luckily I've done a bunch of these, so hopefully it'll be all right. Hopefully I won't mess up too much.
Who's on the stage?
I know Lewis Bryce, Lee's brother's going to be playing, I think Claire Dunn and Lee. So it's a big night, so it should be a lot of fun.
At Comerica right next door.
Right next door.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And tonight's the first
This is the
kickoff
first night of the Jägermeister Presents tour, yeah.
Wow.
So this will be day 1, so we'll see how we do in like 22, 23 days.
When you're a little more tired.
Yes, but right now I'm fresh and I'm feeling good. I'm ready to do this.
Good, good.
Do you enjoy writing more than performing, or do you love to perform, or is it both?
They're both totally different. Writing is something that kind of lasts a little bit longer in the sense of a song will survive, whereas performing is such an intense high when it happens. So you know, kind of, they're both great.
You know, I love Kenny Chesney and and all the great people in this business, and they say a lot of writing happens on the bus. Is that right?
I mean, it happens everywhere. I always say that life is my biggest influence, and so you always got to keep your ears and eyes open to whatever. You'll see a phrase, hear somebody say something, whatever it is. So you always try to capture that and make a song.
Who's been sort of your inspiration, or those you've looked up to along this journey as becoming a
There's so many great artists, and I've had a lot of opportunities doing the Jaeger tours that I've gotten to tour with a lot of them, like Eric Church, who I think is an amazing person, not just an artist.
84 downtown, 88 in Sun City, 89 in Peoria, and 87 in Glendale. If you're hanging out by the pool today, temperatures looking pretty good for it. By 1 o'clock up to 97 degrees, by 4 o'clock 102, and by this evening mostly clear skies. 7 p.m. a temperature of 96 degrees. We are forecasting that high of 102, pretty much where we should be for this time of the year. The record 112 set back in 1990. We do have an ozone health watch in effect today for Maricopa County, so if you do have respiratory issues, you probably should limit your outdoor activity. Looking at our clouds and radar picture, all of that cloud cover that we've had for the past couple of days now just segregated across southern Arizona. We're starting to get northwesterly flow pumping into our state. That's pushing that tropical moisture out of here. We are going to hold on to a few storms later this afternoon across eastern and southeastern Arizona.
It's like Paycheck Friday and we're breaking free.
Or call 1-855-2830.
To be a little bit more widespread across the higher terrain, potentially down into southern Arizona. Again, the valley doesn't look like we're really going to see any of that precipitation, but here is Sunday. We start to get southerly flow that
of infection is too great. You must understand.
You do what you have to do. I'm staying.
do have plans to go to those tailgates